Oh my gosh, I was hoping for a higher spawn than this. Welcome, ladies. I'm Aravero here as always, and here is Area Zero. And I'm gonna dash over here a ways. Wow, I forgot I had kick knockback on that sword. I'm gonna dash over here and climb up this mountain over here and set up another portal. And the reason I want to put it on the mountain is because I want it to be high up. Will ultimately want to have any nether tunnels or whatever that I build on this world to be like near the ceiling of the nether. And so I want to go up on top of that mountain and put up my nether portal up there because it's nice and high, and as high as it is, it will force my portal to be a little bit higher in the nether than it would otherwise be when it spawns into the nether. Okay, here goes the portal. Woohoo! Like, yeah, we've all built portals before. I'm going to go ahead and make mine 3 wide because in the event, well, I don't actually need this one to be 3 wide, but I've already started it, so now we're just going to go with it. Okay, 2, 3, 2, 3, and yeah, because I always am thinking in terms of I might want to move animals through that portal, and I don't want to die from it, you know? So a little bit of a step here might be nice, and a flint and steel, and I brought extra obsidian because, well, it's probably a good idea depending on where I spawn. And yeah, so the only thing I'm actually carrying is that, oh my gosh, I was hoping for a higher spawn than this. Although, there's significant advantages to that spawn, aren't there? Let's see, I hear that some people do this thing where they put, cobble around the portal, and when it first comes in, I think that's got something to do with mob griefing, which I may end up turning off just because I just think that the frustration level is a little too high when you build something and something happens to it. I cannot believe this. Do you see this? Do you see this? Not only is the freaking port thingamajigger right there, it looks like it's a mostly over the water. It looks like I have access to it right here. It looks like I can get in safely. This is nuts. This is flaming nuts. I'm going to have to do some digging. So, yeah, I'll come back to you in a minute. Okay, for some reason it just gave me the advancement for finding the fortress, which means that all of that down there apparently does not count as fortress. It looks like I'm fairly close to the nether ceiling now, too. I guess it makes sense, really, for it to put me down where it put me down because, yes, it does make sense because that lava lake, oh my gosh, there just wasn't anywhere else for it to put me. Okay, so I must be here now. So let's see where here is. I'm going to put 3 so that I know that this is it. Oh my gosh, look. Oh, you've got to be kidding me. You have got to be kidding me. That is 2 wither skeletons right there at the beginning. I am very definitely not up to that yet. Hide me. Oh my gosh. I can't properly explore with them there. And I don't have enough arrows to take them out. I have 7. Okay, so I guess this is going to be a good place to get wither skulls. Sadly, I'm not really that much into beacons. I would run that way, but you're sure to run into something. Oh gosh, I think one of them spotted me. Okay, well, we now have access to the... I don't know why I did that. Why did I say I will be back? And because I'm going to just be all chicken. I only have this unenchanted iron armor. My only intention was to come into the nether and see if it was safe, and actually my intention was to build a tunnel from wherever we spawned to some place that would be safe for the portal, like as I said, at the ceiling. Where are we? We are at level 35, so there's lava lake below us, we can tell that. But since we're at level 35, it might be easier to go to the bottom of the nether, because at the bottom of the nether there's also at the bottom of the nether it's also a relatively lava lake free area. I'm just not sure that this constitutes actual land to dig through. And I did hear a ghast spawn while I was digging up that fortress. There's a fortress right there. That's so not fair. I have made a map of the area, which is that. I did that mostly so that I could look over here. Oh, that was productive. That was exactly what I wanted to do in that moment. It was. Over here. Okay, watch me keep doing that. Right here. I wanted to see if these two things were connected. Those two bodies of water were connected. Well, more specifically, I knew they were connected, but I thought that it was connected through to over here, which it's not. So, anyway, that's that. There's a map. Okay, welcome back. So I got a little bit discombobulated by finding a fortress right there where I was going to just have a portal. And so anyway, I've decided that the best way for me to approach that, because I did have a, well, you know what happened is I got confused. I got this world mixed up with my Foolcraft world, where I have to go to the nether because I have to get blaze rods, or not blaze rods, glowstone for a project. But you'll have to go watch that series in order to find out what's going on there. But anyway, the only way I can attack this nether fortress here is probably to get some enchanted iron armor, because I have some diamonds, but I don't have enough that I feel comfortable, and I'm gonna die. So I'm just gonna go ahead and start working now on getting my iron armor enchanted, so that I've got that little bit more protection. Unbreaking 2 is okay. Let's go with that. Fire protection, that's perfect. And thorns is also very good. Yay! Okay, so, yeah, I'm going to go ahead and get the rest of these enchanted with level 30 enchants. So that's probably going to mean significantly a lot more mining and fishing, so that I can get some more books, so that I can put things on the rest of the armors, like this projectile protection could go on pants or something, but I'm going to do a raw enchant on the pants before I do that, and then we'll see where we get to from there. Alright, so I do have one more thing to show you, at least one more thing to show you, so I will be back in a minute. Actually, scratch that. I can just do a little bit of sleeping. If I just sleep this off, it'll be morning and I can show you the block palette. Alright. So, last episode we had a super boring episode of planning out the design for this here this build, and there's two things. First of all, I'm probably going to take that rectangle and put it over here, because that's the front side, and if I leave it the way it is, then the entry point would basically be I'd have to have like either a great big ginormous porch, a patio, a big long step terrace or something that covers the great crater, which I don't want to do. I don't want to completely cover the great crater. I want to leave the crater there. and exposed to the sun for the most part. So I'm going to bring that rectangle over here to this side, and then we will have a little bit of, whoops, a little bit of leveling off in here, and that will produce a nice enough place for us to have the entry to this build, which is going to be a fairly formal build. Okay, and then the second thing is, here is our block palette for this build. I may do some building between now and the next episode, but I'm not making any promises. We're going to be using birch heavily. In other words, you're going to look at this building and you are going to know it's a birch building. I'm going to use brick or acacia logs, I'm not sure, for like the framing out, or maybe even both, just depending on the specific detail in the specific moment. My goal is going to be to not use the orange acacia planks, so there may be some places where I want the contrast so the bricks will come in anyway. And then I'm going to see if, I think that's possible, we might use the bone blocks, and this is light gray concrete. So I've got some things that are just not, I'm not like a person that builds in creative and then comes and copies it over, because like what's the fun in that? But I just thought I would try out this block palette thing this time. I've not done that before, because a lot of people on a lot of videos have been talking about block palettes, and it just seemed like, okay, I'll go give it a try. And then I had the rather discouraging circumstance of I went into creative and I selected out that block palette, and I came back into this and I was like, okay, I'm done for the day, and I went and watched videos. And the very next video that I watched was one of the big boys over on the Hermitcraft server saying, basically saying that you don't build with birch anymore once you know how to actually properly build builds. So anyway, I wanted to know, do you all build with birch? Have birch builds that you are proud of, and that and you know, want to show off? And if you want to show them off, go ahead and slap them over there on my Twitter, which is always Arivero at Twitter, of course, and whatever, how Twitter works, I haven't actually figured it exactly out, but I'll put a link up somewhere if I can figure it out. And so yeah, if you want to share your birch builds with me to be encouraging and inspiring, like I said, go ahead and post them up on the Twitter, and I'll be looking forward to that. And in the next and I'm between episodes, I'm gonna have to find a chicken. I need to find some chickens, because if I'm gonna go back into the nether, I'm gonna need some arrows. I've got this bow that I got from fishing, which I think is the perfect kind of thing for situations where you already know you're gonna die. I can get a really good bow. I just need some arrows to go with it. Okay, so alrighty. Well, oh, and also, let me know, do you want me to stop and wave at you every episode when when we say hello and when we say goodbye? Or is it okay for me to just kind of be on the move and say hello as I'm coming in, and stuff? Y'all let me talk. Let me know. I don't care about the Twitter and Twitch and all that other stuff, as long as you talk to me. Eridoodle-doo. Toodaloo.